If you can watch this video, take on everything I tell you and apply it to your spoken and written English, you will be speaking better than most native speakers. I was scrolling through the YouTube homepage the other day, as you do, and I came across mistake after mistake after mistake. It really irritated me because it was native English speakers making this mistake. And I was irritated because there's absolutely no reason for this mistake. Often, when there's a difference between American English and British English, mistakes can come up and they are acceptable because the two languages teach slightly different things in terms of grammar. But this particular mistake is the same in American English and British English, so there is no excuse, no reason for it to be made so often. The mistake is using get instead of become. And as you can see in all of these videos that I came across, native English speakers are making this mistake again and again. And it's so frustrating when we have software now that corrects our written English, corrects our grammar automatically. So to have a grammatically incorrect title to your YouTube video just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You may call me the grammar police, but actually my name is Catherine. I'm a business English teacher and I work with intermediate to advanced level students, helping them to improve their English, reach their next goal, be promoted in the workplace, feel more confident in presentations. So if you are trying to do any of these things or just want to level up your English, I definitely recommend subscribing, and if you could like this video as well, it really helps me out. So interestingly, I asked ChatGPT if get fluent in English is grammatically correct, and ChatGPT said yes. So then I tested it and asked, is become fluent in English grammatically correct? And ChatGPT also said yes. This is why it is so important to fact check the information you see online, because get fluent is not correct. It never has been and never will be. You would never say get native, get natural, get confident. You would say become native, become natural, become confident. But of course, ChatGPT takes information from the internet. So if everyone is posting, get fluent, watch this video and get more fluent, ChatGPT is being trained into thinking this is grammatically correct. Anyway, enough of the lecture and my annoyance. Let's get into how you can understand the difference and how you can go about not making the same mistake. Now, the most obvious and easiest difference to notice and to remember is that get or got is often used with spoken English. But when we are talking about more formal written English, we often use become or became. I get fluent could be used in spoken English, and I become fluent would be seen in written English. However, I get fluent is still grammatically incorrect, and I'm going to go into that with you. But if you want an easy way to remember it, written English, you should be using become, not get. They both mean to improve, change your circumstances in some way. But spoken English, it's more acceptable to say get, and written English, you should be using become. Now, why is I get fluent incorrect? Well, although they both mean to begin to be, to have something, to achieve something, to change your circumstance in some way, get, when used with an adjective, is referring to a progressive state, a changing state. It has not yet finished changing. It is something that is still in the process of changing. Whereas become is more of a completed state, a finished state if you want. So for example, I want to get better at speaking English. To get better, it's a progress. There's a goal and you are working towards that goal. I hope you get better. The weather is getting colder. These are all progressive states. They are changing towards this final state. Whereas the student became the teacher. The audience became silent. London has become safer in the last few months. These are all final states. Something has already changed and become that final state. So look at these two examples. I get excited when I see my friends. A changing state from not excited to excited. But I become excited when I see my friends. You are referring to the already changed state, the already excited part of you, the excitement of this incident, of this situation. So with I get fluent, fluent is the final state. You either are or are not fluent. So I become fluent, how to become fluent, how to become this final state. If you wanted to use a similar sentence with get, you could say how to get better at speaking English and become fluent, or how to get more vocabulary and become fluent. Fluent is the final state, not the changing state, not the progressive state. Another way you can look at it and remember it is that get is to obtain, claim, have something, achieve something. I get a degree. I got a new home. I will get a new job. I'm achieving, having something. But becoming is the state you are in now and where it will be after this action. You are changing in some way, not just getting something new. So I get a degree becomes I become a qualified degree holder. I got a new home. I become a homeowner. I will get a new job. I will become an employee for NASA. You're becoming that final state. You are changing, or your state is changing. Your circumstances are changing. So you become something new, a higher version of yourself, an improved version of yourself. But when you gain something, obtain something, achieve something, you just get that item, that thing, that feeling. You get the award, you get the job, you get the car, you get the house. Becoming is indicating some sort of growth or change, improvement, or even decline. I became unhappy. I became poorer. I became angry. It's not always a positive change, but it is a change of some kind. But get is just obtaining something. So I get more vocabulary. I am obtaining, claiming, learning more vocabulary. I get better at something, the changing state. Now, if you are talking about a present situation changing, you would of course use getting. So you would say, it is getting dark. He is getting angry. They are getting annoyed. It's a present changing situation. But remember, as I said, in written situations, you could use becoming in that same way. It is becoming dark. It is becoming angry. They are becoming annoyed. Because again, this is a changing state, not obtaining something new. The only exceptions that I will allow and that are commonly used are get well soon. Now, technically, this is grammatically incorrect because being well is not a changing state. You either are or are not well. It's a final destination, a final state. So if you were to follow the grammar rule, it should be become well. But the reason we do not say become well is because get well soon is a phrase rather than a sentence that needs grammatical correction. It's a phrase that is often used by English speakers, so it becomes an exception to the rule. Get well soon. I hope you get well soon. The next exception is marriage or married. Getting married, got married, will get married. Technically, again, married is a final state. You either are or not married. You can't be half married or nearly married or mostly married. But the reason we say get is because traditionally when you were getting married, you were referring to the certificate that says you are a couple legally. The government recognizes you as a couple. So you are getting a marriage certificate, getting a piece of paper, receiving, obtaining something. However, you do become a wife or become a husband because your final state is changing. So you get married and become a husband, become a wife, become a couple. Now, I know I might seem quite serious and stressed and angry in this video. I am partially joking. If you make mistakes, it's absolutely okay. I have made mistakes in my YouTube videos, but if you are writing in English, like the examples I gave you at the beginning, there is absolutely no excuse for grammatical errors, as every platform now has a grammar checker, spell check, Or you can even copy and paste into ChatGPT or any other form of AI to check your grammar. Although ChatGPT will tell you get fluent is correct, and I'm here to tell you it's not. Maybe I sound quite arrogant arguing with this huge AI tool, but if you understand how AI works, and if you understand that it's not always correct, it's more about the data put into the AI tool, as a native English speaker that has a large knowledge on grammar, get fluent is not correct. Fluent is a final state. You cannot get a final state. You become a final state. I hope you've learned something in this video. I hope it will help you next time you see these kinds of videos that are not grammatically correct, and you can notice it for yourself and think, I know that piece of information. I know that grammar rule. I hope you've enjoyed today. I will see you next time. Have a fantastic week. Goodbye.